lot of conventions. I just got back from North Dakota. Anybody here from the Dakotas? Anybody? Nice folks, God-fearing, hard-working, tax-paying, little heavily Caucasian. Have you been to the Dakotas? Like Salt Lake City looked diverse. I had trouble finding black licorice. I said that during my show and a woman got mad. Oh my Lord. She did as my mama would say, she had a fit and fell in it. She comes up and goes, Frank, we have people here in North Dakota of mixed race. And I said, yes, Anglos and Saxons. I did the North Dakota Grain Dealers Association, North Dakota Grain Dealers, and what I've discovered, because that's what I do when I'm not on a ship, I'm at a convention somewhere making people laugh. And I discovered every industry has a favorite joke, and the grain dealer's favorite joke is this. There's a guy working on a combine, he's harvesting wheat, and he has an accident and gets his right arm cut off. That's bad news. The good news is the doctor's actually able to reattach it. And he sees a friend of his downtown 6 months later, and the guy knows about the accident and says to him, hey, heard you got your arm cut off in a combine accident? But the doc sewed it back on. How'd the operation turn out? Great! Did a group of morticians. Do we have any morticians in the audience? I know. I met one today waiting in line over at Hilo Hattie, so I know there's somebody here who's a mortician. Yes, I did actually, it's called the Selected Independent Funeral Homes Association. It was the international meeting. Oh, get this. The woman who spoke before me was a motivational speaker, and she was fabulous. However, she kept saying the following, and she never tumbled to the connection to morticians. She kept saying, you folks need to think outside the box. Yeah, so when I got on stage, I said, you guys enjoy the motivation? Oh, yeah. I said, you know, I got to tell you, am I the only one that noticed she never quite realized if there's any group that needs to think inside the box, it's you folks. That's, here's their favorite joke. And I'll tell you right up front, it's just flat wrong. But if you've ever been in sales, you'll get it. What's the most difficult thing about being a mortician? Trying to look sad at a $30,000 funeral. That's just wrong. But it's funny. My favorite is, I did a group of ophthalmologists, an ophthalmological association, and here's their favorite joke. Here's my impression of an ophthalmologist making love. How's that? How about now? Better? Worse? One or two? Two. Yeah. And if you've never worn glasses, ask somebody. Because that's funny. Oh, I gotta tell you, I flew on a Delta flight next to a pilot for Delta. He was deadheading home. You know, he was going back to his base, I think, in Utah. And I told him those three stories, and he goes, well, Frank, pilots have a favorite joke. And I said, well, for goodness sakes, let's hear it. He said, well, there's a fellow working on his master's thesis, and his master's thesis involves the relationship between pilots and flight attendants, the amorous relationships between pilots and flight attendants. So he was interviewing pilots about that. So he's standing at the end of the jetway inside the airport as the pilot comes down the, comes off the plane. And he tells the pilot what he's up to. He's got a little clipboard. And he says to the pilot, can I ask you a question? And the pilot says, sure, go ahead. When was the last time you had sex? The pilot goes, 1956. And the kid doing the thesis goes, that long ago? He goes, heck, it's only 11:21 now. And when I'm not doing conventions, I'm doing cruises, and here's a little cruise information for you. Maybe you know this, maybe you didn't. The longer the cruise, do you know this? The older the passenger. You guys aware of that? Yes, and you guys are a relatively young group because, well, this is a 37-day cruise. I've done the 105-day world cruise. Yeah, we're talking old people and their parents. Same thing for dessert, oxygen. And a handrail on the water slide. It was. I did a show in a theater like this, 800 seats. It was packed. I called my wife from the port the next day. Honey, there was so much white hair in that theater, it looked like a Q-tip convention. Nice folks, darling, just darling. I did the first 10 days and then got off in somewhere in the I got to Japan.